You're now tuned into the fourth season of Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions, a media education company. Let's get it started.
That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is the AVIOT podcast. I'm your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by Jay Random, my mans. We have quite a bit to talk about today. We're going to be focusing on one subject in particular and just unpacking different elements of that. But how are you?
Doing all right. Can't complain, man. You know how we do. Surviving. You know,
Seriously, surviving.
playing in this damn simulation. I'm trying to get the cheat code so I could just fast forward some years. You know.
I hear you. Speaking of a simulation and a cheat code, you know, we gotta talk about it. The Kendrick Lamar performance at the Super Bowl. So
yeah, man.
We leave the sports talk to me and Tay, and I'll get into that with what Tay and I are doing in a little bit when we get to our update section. But that Super Bowl, hold on, let me just rewind it back. Sorry. There's so much, there's a lot of thoughts that came to me at once, and I'm just like, you know what, let me just pace this out.
Okay.
So, number one, we don't cover sports. That's me and Tay's job, my sister. However, because this deals with pop culture, with music, that's why we're able to tie this in. That's why we're able to speak about this subject in particular, the halftime performance with Kendrick Lamar. That performance is difficult to classify it in terms of ranking it in terms of Super Bowl performances for me, because that was both a performance and a message. And so I can't really rank it with the Prince's, Michael Jackson's, even the Dr. Dre performance, because those were just performances just to entertain. But this one was to entertain, educate, and empower. So before I even get to some of the Easter eggs I saw or some of my thoughts, what did you think of the performance overall?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the selection. You know, you and I, we had a conversation before the show. I need the song Body, whatever the hell the name song will be, Tiramisu, whatever it is.
The first song he performed.
Yes, the first song he performed. I need that on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
I like the fact that his stage presence is amazing. How everybody was in sync. Oh man, it was just, if anybody messed up, only he would know, because everybody looked like they were lockstep. Like everybody was on the same accord, man. It was just amazing. Samuel Jackson, amazing, perfect person.
Yeah.
Perfect person. So I loved it.
And just to interject, you're talking about the people being in lockstep. I have to give a shout out to Sharm LaDonna. She's the black woman that actually coordinated and put together the dance moves for this. So she's credited as the main person who choreographed the entire performance. So I have to give her props, because she also was integral in the Not Like Us music video. She's worked with Kendrick Lamar in the past. She's worked with other major artists. I think she worked with Beyonce on her Beyonce Bowl during Christmas time when the NFL games were happening during Christmas. So Sharm LaDonna, I have to give her props, give her flowers. She does an amazing job with the choreography, and I know that woman is paid. If she's not paid, she better be paid, okay? Because
facts.
She's the mind behind all of this. I will say that I did a breakdown of this video, and I'm going to be working on it, and I want to put it out tonight. So this is Wednesday, and this episode is going to be aired on Thursday. I held back on it because I did one video posted to the Chemistry Production social media stuff, and it was talking about how black this Super Bowl was, because it was very black. And if anyone wants to see my thoughts on that, because I spoke about the Super Bowl as a whole, please go to Chemistry Productions on YouTube, TikTok, and you'll be able to see our stuff there.
News.
And I must say that with my breakdown, I'm not saying too much of what other people haven't said. Like, I say some things that people might not have said, but nothing's really groundbreaking. But I just wanted to get my voice out there, get my perspective. I did see, though, a black woman saying that Kendrick's messages were very coded, and a lot of this was for black people. Now, black people are going to be out there just explaining away. I do think that I agree with what she said, too. She said we need to gatekeep. some of these messages, because these messages are supposed to be for our empowerment. Now, I made the video already, so I'm putting that video out, but I do agree with her in terms of gatekeeping certain things. There are certain other things that I took from the show, and I'm not going to say it at all.
Nope.
I believe that's stuff that's only meant for Black folk to understand. It's only something that we will understand. For those who felt the show was boring or that you just wanted to be entertained, obviously the show was not for you. It's not meant for you, and it's okay. I know there's this Black British woman by the name of Madam Joyce, and she was saying she didn't want to think during the performance, and I was saying, number one, it's not for you, and number two, that's what's wrong.
Now, I love Kendrick. I love the fact that being a hater can end up being a success. But this performance, I just thought it was really mediocre for me. Maybe because I'm not a hardcore Kendrick fan. There was a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I knew some of the mainstream ones. Like when SZA came, I was like, yes, twin. The rest of them, I don't know. I thought the visuals was amazing. We had Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom, and then obviously the dancers came and the American flag, and then obviously he performed They're Not Like Us. I just thought it was an okay performance. There are a lot of people on the internet who are like, oh my God, you just didn't understand. One thing I cannot stand is fake deepness. I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a book. So when I'm seeing, oh, but you did not understand the allegoric significance of when the dancers were wearing blue, and the blue means it signifies the sadness of the American like, I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book to understand what the performance was about, okay?
Like, you should be able to be entertained and think. And when it comes to Black people and music in general, our music has never just been about entertainment. I think today it's been bastardized, and you got everybody twerking and talking about do drugs and just sleep with everybody. Like they call bumping bellies or rubbing skins. And we've gotten away from the plot. If you look at music back in the day, James Brown, Earth, Wind and Fire, Aretha Franklin, they made protest music.
Yes, sir.
They made music that was entertaining and it stood the test of time. Even Michael Jackson, Prince, they've made protest music. And it stood the test of time. For music for Black Americans, I got to pull out the cultural card. It is political. A lot of times we're sending messages through our music. A lot of times we're communicating with each other through our music. We're trying to get to a point. It's not just about celebrating a lot of times. And so I want to let you know that it's okay to be educated in your entertainment. That show was still entertaining, but I think it's just people, they just want entertainment. I think that's how we get lulled to sleep, and that's why we cannot progress as a unit, as a group.
That's correct.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, the problem with people that just want to be entertained, those are people that want to be entertained 24/7. They never want to not be entertained. They never really are looking for a challenge, a food for thought moment, okay. Because a person that say, I want to be entertained, well, when do you not want to be entertained? When you sleep?
Exactly.
So also, I feel like I saw this one guy, he gave a take on the Kendrick Lamar performance, and clearly he didn't watch it because he was saying that the NFL had to edit half of the words because it wasn't appropriate for the viewers. I'm like, what word was besides pedo?
But Kendrick edited that himself. He put a sound effect instead of saying that word.
So I was like, bro, you didn't watch it. Number one. Number two, this isn't a cup of tea. Like, let's be honest. So one of the folklores or one of the greatest musicians or writers that white people love would be Bob Dylan. I can't stand Bob Dylan. I don't understand what Bob Dylan is ever saying. Everything is, it's like, what are you saying? But they'd be like, oh my God, he's a poet. When? What time?
Right.
What did he say in the first 2 minutes of that song? Is the guitar too high? Too loud, the volume? So, it's just funny how, the people that say they didn't understand, they probably listened to old school rock and roll when the drums are louder than everything and you can't hear it. It's just like, come on, guys, just say you didn't like it and move on. Don't say that, don't critique it if you're not giving it a chance.
Or just say it's not for you. My thing is,
it's okay.
Yeah, like when they had Shakira and J-Lo on, that wasn't for me. I wasn't a fan of it. It wasn't for me. Okay, it is what it is.
I watched it and probably turned after a while. I was like, okay, this is all... No, first of all, nobody had a live mic, okay?
Yeah, they both were lip syncing, weren't they? Yeah.
Nobody had a live mic, so it's kind of like, boo. You might just play the damn song on the on a CD player, or stream it.
Right. Well, J-Lo can't sing anyway, so it's probably best she didn't have a live mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Shakira can actually sing. Shakira can. I give her props there. She can sing.
Yeah. Yes. No, I agree. So that's why I'm like, it's just sad that people didn't really get the message, but it's okay because not everybody's supposed to get the message. That's how I look at it.
And that's a good thing. Not everybody's supposed to get the message. It's for us. We know what to do. And now I got to speak to the naysayers. First on our chopping block, Kai Cenat.
Yes.
Kai Cenat, I realized there's a reason why I was never into his streaming shows. Because this dude be skinning and grinning. I feel like he be cooning and he just be doing the most, be acting all extra and stuff. For you to come on and be like, they added claps or added cheering on the broadcast version of the halftime show.
I'm going to break it down how it was in person. Everybody listening, this is my honest opinion, no bias on how the vibes were in person. Okay? Kendrick Lamar came out. Word to my mother, if anybody was there, y'all knew it was. Y'all knew it. Y'all felt it. Crowd was making no noise. This is me being honest. I was there. The loudest times that they made, the loudest time that the crowds did was, I think, him being shown for the first time, SZA, Samuel Jackson being shown for the first time, and then They Not Like Us. Now, I honestly feel like some of the songs he should have switched out for more. You feel me? For like another...
First off, if they did, what purpose does it serve for you to say that?
Correct.
That's number one.
Correct.
Secondly, we've seen video after video of people showing the live reaction. Those cheers were real. Those cheers were all real. Everything we heard was real.
Yeah, I'm tired of people with their backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
Because he tried to end it by saying, but the message and everything was good. Nah, bro, it's a backhanded compliment. You're better off just getting on there and be like, you know what? I was in the suite, so I couldn't really get the vibe. Just say that. Because I'm pretty sure he was in the suite. He wasn't sitting where other people was at. And if you're sitting in the suite, of course you're not gonna hear anything. Suites now, 9 out of 10 are soundproof anyway. You got to open up the glass to know what's going on. So I just felt like Kai, Maul, they all just they somehow, some way be caping for somebody who don't care about them. And that's the funny part.
Forget about Maul. Maul is, I don't understand.
I mean, Maul was damn near crying, yelling.
In a world where you still have a subset of men who have a fear of leaning into anything that's perceived as homosexual or gay or queer, it's very interesting to me how much you support and defend a man that is not like helping you financially, that I know of.
Not helping you financially. You're right.
That is not helping you progress in life. My thing is, why are you supporting a man that hard? Like, you're supporting him more than women he dates, it seems.
Damn.
Tell me about it. Like, that should be the OVO show, not Maul and what's his name?
I forgot the other guy's name. Rory and Maul.
Rory. I about to say Rudy.
Yeah. So that's first on my chopping block. Speaking of dates, I have to get into Stephen A. Smith next. Sorry, got to intersect with sports for a minute. Stephen A. Smith, he had the nerve to go on Serena Williams talking about, like, why are you over there dancing, trying to make fun of your ex? Like, I wouldn't, in essence, saying that her husband shouldn't be with her because she's trolling her ex.
Shannon brought it up, so I'm going there. I'm going to be like, if I'm your husband, I'm like, why are you up there dancing or something?
I wanted my lick back.
Trolling your ex.
And don't you mess up either, because I get my lick back on you too.
Allegedly, her and Aubrey used to date. And then I think he even said something about SZA too. My thing is this. Serena dancing at the Super Bowl performance for Not Like Us when Kendrick was playing that was more than just her dancing, trolling Drake. It was also about her reclaiming her time. Do you know how much time Serena has been called ghetto, too black, too aggressive when she played tennis? And I remember when she C-walked, when she actually won a match, and then people were criticizing her for that, saying, oh, she's too hood. So this is her C-walking on a national scale for everybody, the whole world to see, everyone that tuned into the Super Bowl. She's C-walking to be like, yo, you call me too hood? Guess what? I'm from Compton, and I'm doing this dance that is from the area that I'm from that you said was too ghetto on a national, global scale now. And you all see me. Also, this man that I used to date, reportedly, he, years after we broke up, has the nerve to say something about my husband, like to troll my husband and talk junk about me on record. Like, why are you talking about me? Move on. Like, you should move just like I've moved on. I've moved on and I have a family. I've had children with this man. Why are you talking about me? And then got the nerve today. I don't know. Is that truly Aubrey's Finsta? Is that his like? How do people confirm that?
Plot thicken or something like that? Yeah, I think that's his Finsta.
But how did anybody confirm that?
Because that's where he put the 100 gig joint.
Okay.
That's where the 100 gig thing came from.
Okay. Well, then he's posting a picture with what, Serena's ex-manager or manager or something like that?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's like, once again, you still going at Serena. Like, this man has problems. This man really has problems. I don't understand why we have not canceled this guy yet. Like, why? And the thing, well, to be honest, it seems like you can't cancel anybody because you see what Kanye's on these days. So you really...
If you can't cancel Kanye, you can't cancel him.
No. Yeah, you can't.
Kanye doing some disgusting stuff.
Yeah, if you have a cult following. Yeah, if you have a cult following, I guess you can never be canceled.
No, he has a following that doesn't have morals.
That's a good point.
Cult following, but they have no morals.
That's a very good point.
You know.
Yeah, so it's like even after Serena does this, Aubrey's still taking shots at her, and my thing is like she has every right to do that. And Stephen A., you have never been married. You have 2 children by 2 different women, first off. So when you try to lecture the Black collective on what they should and should not be doing, remember, you have 2 children by 2 different women. So you're not the model citizen yourself. You're trying to conduct yourself like the model citizen. But as far as I'm concerned, if we speak in on what society deems proper, you're creating broken families.
Wow.
If we really go in there.
Wow.
If we really
lost words because I never knew the man had 2 different baby moms. And be honest with you, I'm not even gonna lie to you because I don't see what that got to do with him being a critique.
No. I'm saying
you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm kind of like yeah.
I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm not saying I agree with the sentiment. I'm saying that if you are critiquing people, right?
Yeah.
You yourself are not married, and you always like to lecture Black people, Black women specifically, because I'll never forget what he said about Angel Reese, right? Because he was trying to lecture her to do all kinds. It's like he always is extra critical of Black people in general. And I'm tired of him trying to be this big spokesperson for the Black collective or make like he's holier than thou when you yourself are not the model citizen. You yourself, you're trying to make yourself as this big Black man who has it all going on. And I'm like, you got 2 daughters by 2 different women. So I'm saying your closet ain't clean and you going in on other Black people. I'm tired of you doing that. So I'm saying by societal standards, they say, I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong. I'm saying by societal standards,
You know what? Too bad this ain't being recorded. Cause they're probably like, "What in the world is?" Because I'm just sitting back here.
No, this is recorded. We recorded, bro.
No. Recorded as far as our video. Because I'm sitting back here with the video. The video is not going to be released. Because I'm sitting. If our viewers can see me scratching my head, saying myself.
Hey, listen,
I get what you're saying.
If I can't, I'll release the video. I'm saying by societal standards, though.
Yeah, man. But you know what? We don't rock with societal standards. Okay,
I understand. I'm saying. Okay, go ahead.
That's why I agree with you. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
If we're gonna stick to the fact that Stephen A, you can't talk about a married woman when you're not married, cool. Leave the kids out, man. Leave the kids out because we don't know the situation.
Nope.
We don't know the situation.
He ain't with either of the moms. He ain't with either of the moms. He ain't with
situations happen.
I understand situations happen, but my thing is,
what if they cheated on him? Like, we don't know the situation. So I'm gonna think we stick to, leave that married woman alone because you ain't married. I'm cool with that. Okay. Once you start talking about the kids, I'm like,
I ain't talking about the kids. I'm saying,
not talking about the kids, but you're saying that,
bro. We championed that woman that was going in on Cam Newton that said he was creating broken families by having all these different baby mamas, right? Ain't Stephen A. Smith doing the same thing?
I don't know, man. We don't know. Like we know for sure Cam reckless. We don't know.
Stephen A. Smith was reckless. I read his autobiography. He was reckless too.
Okay, well dang, now we're getting deep, man. I don't think we should get. Let's just stick to surface. The surface is.
All I'm saying is your closet ain't clean, bro. You trying to be holier than thou, but your closet ain't clean. We good with that? We're good with that.
Leave it like that. Because all that I wanted to say was, first of all, I hate when older people who don't know the true story chime in, because he's leaving out the biggest part of it all, and the fact that this man, meaning Drake, who used to date Serena, had the nerve years later to talk junk about her husband.
Which was foul. Talking about your husband's a groupie.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Like, aren't you supposed to be a groupie for your wife? Aren't you supposed to be their biggest cheerleader? What?
Exactly. So I believe that's why she said, nah, enough is enough, because, she is bigger than her husband. So whatever she says, statement-wise, is going to stick harder. If her husband was out there crip walking, we'd be like, who's this white guy crip walking? He looked familiar, but I don't know him.
That would have been totally off.
Exactly. But when it's Serena, we're like, oh, okay, she's sticking it to him. Because before, I don't recall her being on the Not Like Us video, correct?
No, DeMar DeRozan was on that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So for her to be sea-walking at the Super Bowl on a song that she's mentioned on and sticking it to Drake, I think that was a better statement. And
I agree.
The reason why she did it is because Drake came at her family first. But Stephen A., being the old man that he is, who won't do the research, who probably don't care to do the research, is sticking it, is saying instead. So now they're creating a whole new narrative by saying she's not over her ex. So since you're not over your ex, stay with your ex. And it's like, nah, sir, that's not what it is. That's not.
And her husband's fine with it. Her husband is fine with it. Not that she needs his approval, but I'm just saying
exactly
he's fine with it.
Yes.
So Stephen A. just sounds old. He's one of the old people who didn't do the research.
How about you stay out of other people's relationships? How about that?
Yeah, man. Just take it for what it was.
Yeah.
It was a good song. Her name was mentioned. She crip walking. Sit. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
but Stephen A. gotta have clickbaits.
I'm sorry, I'm very critical of Stephen A. just because
I know you are.
He has a loud voice. Listen, and I know I have my thing about being extra critical of Black people on public platforms. I understand. So I gotta check myself for that. Okay. The fact of the matter is, he is in both of his daughters' lives. He seems to be a decent father, right?
Yeah.
So there's I'm just saying. Saying. If you try to, I understand. I'm just saying, if you are criticizing other people, remember what you doing. You ain't married to no Black woman. You had 2 children outside of, okay. I said my piece.
I'm about to say, wait a minute, we going back.
Moving on.
Gotcha.
All right, moving on. And just to let people know, if you have children by multiple people, it's not necessarily that you're creating broken homes. There's nuance to it. There's nuance. Like
that's all I'm saying.
There's nuance. There are cats that are reckless. That's
different.
There are cats that are reckless creating broken home. Future.
Yes, Cam Newton and what's his name? Nick Cannon.
Future.
Huh? And Future, yes. They're
And
creating
Moneybag Yo. And Moneybag Yo.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We have better examples. I understand. Next on the chopping block.
Yes.
So
Wow.
what I did, I know that took him a lot of time. So we had Madam Joyce, we had Kai Cenat, we had Stephen A. Smith. Next on the chopping block is Cam and Mace. I understand y'all love y'all some Aubrey.
Let me hear this.
Oh, you ain't hear what they had to say?
Well, I personally think Cam critiqued it better than Mace. Mace with that stupid ass leather cowboy hat with his big ass head. It's weird how Ozempic don't shrink your head, but it shrink everything else.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Allegedly. But yeah, I didn't like how Cam was talking about like Cam. I mean, I'm not Cam. Mace. Like Mace used to run around with shiny suits, so shut up. You don't count. Never gonna forget them shiny days. You don't count, Mace.
Well, I'm gonna be an objective voice just so we can hear what the other fans were thinking that didn't think it was such a great performance. Let me start by saying watching the Super Bowl, you watch Usher, you watch Rihanna, you see Michael Jackson, you see Prince. So there's already a status, regardless of what you came in to perform. And shout out to Top Dog and everybody out there in the LA scene. What I was more so looking forward to was if he would have came out with all of the people, like Cam said, bring them into his world. His world is LA. So if he would have brought out a bunch of gang members on stage, that would have been something for the Super Bowl to see, you know?
Was Blood and Crips, right? Red and
No.
There was something.
No, I mean,
That was
like
representing
the people,
America.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people that were at the pop-out show. That was an amazing show. And not taking anything away from this show, but it lacked energy for me. I mean, even from the outfit selection, from the lights, just everything. It just, to me, from my understanding, it wasn't what I thought a Super Bowl should be.
I don't think that your take is wrong.
Yeah.
I think that he just took advantage of the people watching them and said, all right, let me get niggas to go see where I'm at. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I totally agree with you.
And what I'm saying is, so people don't take it, and I know they're going to make a soundbite about it, but anything, but just creatively, even if you're going into Kendrick's world, I would have came out with mustard. That would have been the way you just walk out, pause, to where the crowd was more hype, and then I would have got into Euphoria. All the things, two of the things that he did. And if you're going to diss Drake, do the whole song. We want the whole song.
Cam said it right. You said, listen, it was cool. I like how he did what he wanted to do. Move on. And it's sad how, what's the girl name? Steph?
Oh, Treasure Wilson.
Treasure Wilson.
Yeah.
How she was the smartest one in the room, once again, as always, by saying, guys, y'all missed the point.
I think Treasure might end up outgrowing them eventually.
Treasure going to outgrow him.
She got to move on.
I'll tell you why.
She got to move on.
Treasure's here for the giggles and laughs, but eventually that shit going to get tiring.
Yes.
Yeah, what burns me is when they be saying female. They always say female, these females. I'm like, can you say women for once? Like, can you stop? Like, for once? For once? You know, so like female or
yeah,
they
but
say
tell
the
me
B
about their
word.
take.
Oh, so yeah, you pretty much got it. Mace was talking about how Kendrick, he wasn't wowed by it because Kendrick didn't stick to the hits, and they were just getting by the message piece. And Cameron, he was upfront saying that he's with Aubrey, like that's his man's, and he said that he doesn't like how people that used to be with Aubrey running around his circles and now turning against him and supporting Kendrick and singing Not Like Us. So I understand that piece. But Mace, how he's focusing on just the dissing of Aubrey. Let me get this clear to y'all out here. This performance was not centered around Aubrey or dissing Aubrey. Kendrick had a catalog before Aubrey came into the picture. Kendrick was already winning Grammys. Not to say that means much, but he had a Pulitzer Prize. Like, the man was already highly decorated, winning BET Awards. He won more BET Awards than Aubrey. Like, so the man was already making waves. He was on the Black Panther soundtrack prior to this beef. Like, Aubrey's never been on a soundtrack, to my knowledge. Do you know if he's ever been on a soundtrack or?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, so I'm just saying Kendrick already made a name for himself. This performance was about a message, not about dissing Aubrey. It just so happened that Not Like Us is a very popular song of his. And he said, all right, well, I'm going to perform it and say Drake, right into the camera, like clear as day, and smile because you tried to get him not to do it. You tried to do a lawsuit against UMG and Spotify, Aubrey did. And that's why Kendrick had the audacity to perform it and say your name on live television and call you a pedo. And Cat's mad talking about, oh, well, he shouldn't have called him a pedo. So you mad that a man is calling out somebody for for inappropriate behaviors with with girls and who knows, maybe even younger than that? So you're mad at a man calling out somebody who's dealing with younger girls in an inappropriate way.
Yeah. No, I agree. Personally, for me, I'm just tired of people acting like Aubrey catalog is all Aubrey's catalog. I mean, the man is known for having ghostwriters.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He has enough powers to silence people. Who's to say after this battle, he ain't go back to the archive and have people sign NDAs saying, listen, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this. The man is known for it. So what come on. Remember everybody talking about, Mob Ties was the toughest song after his battle with Pusha T. Couldn't find out Mob Ties, he ain't even right.
That's terrible.
Mob Ties, he ain't right. There's a lot of stuff he didn't write. And people talking about, but his pen game is cool. Look.
His pen game ain't good.
He wrote for Beyonce. How we know he wrote? Listen, once a liar, always a liar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his pen game ain't cool because the Hard Part 6, you can tell he wrote that because the Hard Part 6 was horrible.
Exactly.
That was horrible.
Exactly. Listen, I don't know what is, like Kendrick said, my battle ghost or AI.
Yeah.
That's how I look at all of
Aubrey's
catalog right about now. I don't know what's what. And Aubrey has enough money to cover his tracks. So people kill me talking about Aubrey catalog is amazing. Well, what?
I think
what is Aubrey's?
But I think that's the problem though, Jay. You sent me a video where this woman was talking about Aubrey being a misogynist, right? And she said, she's like, well, I'm not gonna lie, like I always like his old music, especially because I'm from Canada. I'm like, that's the problem. Cut him off completely. Either you with him or you not. If you're a woman and you feel like a man is a misogynist, why are you listening to his music? I don't care if it's before you found out he's a misogynist. Why are you listening to his music? You're still supporting it. Like, if I know someone is anti-black, that's why I don't listen to Kanye. I cannot listen to College Dropout. I love College Dropout. I love Dark Twisted Fantasy. I can't listen to that. I can't listen to that because I know the man that's connected to it. It was great times. Great times. Great. That was a wonderful time. It maybe one day a song may come up, but I ain't going back and revisiting that.
Nope.
I'm not revisiting that. Not at all.
No, I agree. You got to stand for something, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm tired of people acting like Drake propelled Kendrick to this high status now. And it's like, okay, let's explain something to you idiots. The only thing Drake did with this battle is introduce Kendrick to new people, but Kendrick was always Kendrick.
Yes.
Correct.
That's just like if you show up on features on someone's song, right? You're only going to gain now their new fans. Correct. That's the same thing what this battle did. That's what a battle does. Anybody that battles, you go back and go, oh, that Cat song was tough. That verse is tough. Who is this person? This is what I do, and I go back and go through their catalog.
Right.
So for those who probably heard of Kendrick, but probably was so lullaby with dumb Drake music, and his monotone and his low vibration music that has always been heard Kendrick was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember Kendrick. He did this song. Okay, I did like that song. Let me go to his catalog. Because let's be honest, before this battle, we were heavily influenced with horrible Drake music. And Drake stopped respecting the art. I never forget we had that dumbass song, Come Rescue Me, or SOS. That song, hands down, has to be one of the worst songs. It is so monotone and it lulls you to sleep. You know that song, right? SOS?
Nah, I'll listen to
rescue me.
Aubrey. I'll listen to Aubrey.
Well,
Man.
no, I don't listen to him either, but it was on the radio. I talk over it,
Yeah,
right? So I'm talking over it.
Yeah.
And then one time I was like, yo, why this song came on 3 times on satellite radio? I'm like, man, turn this junk off. Like, literally. So that's my thing. I think people tend to forget that Kendrick was well ahead of Drake prior to this beef. His beef only solidified him, as he said, when you show me number 1, number 2, I brought out the broom. So for your 1s and 2s, I swept them. Who else do you got? How am I not the GOAT? Who else do you bring them here? I sweep them too. And that's why he picks and chooses. That's why Cole backed out when Cole, that was the smartest thing Cole did. Because Cole always gonna have stain on him, but Cole could just still be Cole.
Yeah, he can still release music
Cole
that his
still
fans are
ride
gonna
his
like.
bike
Yep.
in the streets with no security guard.
His fans still respect him. His fans still love his music.
Drake is forever tarnished, man. Because now
Forever.
Drake got to move different. Drake got to move different now because, the streets found out that he ain't shit and that he was an evil person, allegedly.
If you're listening to the AVIOT podcast on a streaming service, make sure to leave a rating and a review so we can grow our platform.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the newer Aubrey.
Mhm.
I liked his old stuff when he first came out, like It's Far From Over, right? All that stuff. When he first came out, I noticed a switch, I think, after Take Care. And I didn't like him anymore. Like Scorpion, I tried to give it a shot. But all the fanfare around him, I didn't like the way he sung. I was picking up on his misogynistic lyrics ahead of time because even Marvin's Room, I'm like, this is a very toxic song. Like everyone likes this song, but it's about a man who's not over his ex and he's calling her while he's drunk, trying to get her to break up with her happy relationship. Like that's a toxic song. And you heard all the women singing that song back when I was in college. I'm like, this isn't cool.
No.
And I just wasn't feeling it. Then when the Ghost Rider thing came out with Meek, I was like, oh, I definitely can't take this dude seriously because I'm more of a hip hop. I wouldn't say I'm a hip hop purist, but I respect people who use their own pen. I don't respect people that don't write their stuff. So I can't take you serious. So I just wasn't with it. So
Yo, it's so funny you say that, right? So I talked to my mom today about the concert, and she was like, "Why didn't he do Gloria?" I fell out.
That's hilarious.
I said, "Mom, he would have done Gloria. People would have been upset. They were like, oh no,
that's hilarious. Why did you? So your mom like GNX? I'm assuming.
Mom loved Gloria. She loves Gloria. She just loves how you think he's like being really disrespectful to a woman, and they arguing and stuff, and come to find out that's the relationship he has with his pen. Like that's just genius.
Listen, Auntie got good taste, man. Auntie got great taste. Okay.
Listen, man. For me, the hands down. I know it'll never be a video for it, but Reincarnated is
Reincarnated. That's my favorite song off that album.
And remember, I've been telling you that when I first was kind of iffy on the album. Remember when I first heard the album?
You still were talking about Reincarnated was tough.
Reincarnated.
You did.
Said, when he's talking to God, I said, I'm done. I'm so done because I don't have those conversations like that, but I do, I find myself sometimes just, especially like when I say my prayers, I'm talking to God, but just that back and forth and just like, oh my, like this dude, like, yo, come on, man, come out with an audio book, come out with a movie, like, come on, man, you and Ryan Coogler, y'all should just come out with a.
Oh my God, him and Ryan Coogler together will make magic.
Cause I can't wait for Sinner.
Woo, Sinner looks good, but every time Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan do something together, it's always they knock it out the park. They have not made a bad movie together.
The 20s, right? 2030s.
It's old. Yeah, it's old.
It's old. So yeah, man. Yo, so yeah, I was cracking on my mom's like, why didn't he do Gloria?
That man, people
said,
would have been upset. Yeah, people would have left because you can't tell the whole story. You can't do the whole song. You know what I mean? You only got 13 minutes.
You only got 13 minutes. You gotta just do. I mean, you gotta be the quickest DJ ever.
Yeah. Nah, but I like the set overall. I love the storyline, the incorporation. Samuel L. Jackson, he doesn't get enough props. He's part of that old crop of black actors who are still true to themselves. I feel like Denzel Washington falls into that category. Very true to themselves, will not compromise their beliefs, revolutionaries at heart. Samuel L. Jackson was about that life back in the day at Morehouse College. So it was really good to see it playing Uncle Sam. And I think everybody got the message loud and clear when it came to that. He is the government, or he is white America telling Kendrick he needs to act and conduct himself a certain way.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And then my last person, my last person that I gotta go at, and not really go at, but he gave his take, FD Signifier. So I listened to him.
Please send it to me. I didn't see it.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. But remember, I told you that he was saying that he felt that Kendrick was going to disappoint us because we were looking for something revolutionary, and he was saying that Kendrick wouldn't be doing that. He wouldn't be putting out something that's very revolutionary, right? And so that was in his original video. And so he said he liked Kendrick's performance because Kendrick didn't do the most, and he didn't try to burn the system down and be extra with it. And my issue with that is Kendrick is protesting in his own way. He's an artist. He still has a community to feed. He has his own family to feed. And as much money as he's making, he's trying to enact change on a covert level, because the man still goes back into his community. We know he donates to children over there. We know he donates to, I believe, shelters. We saw when he did the Christmas celebration in Cali. I forgot what part of Cali he was in, but he did that celebration. So he's trying to make a difference, and we've been with him on his journey throughout his, I guess, young adult life, because we've heard him on record having conflict all the way back to what's the album, Overly Dedicated. He's always been at conflict with himself. Maybe it's them twins, that Gemini twins, just having that conflict. He's always been a revolutionary. So all this stuff he's talking now, he's never changed. He's always been the same person. Like on Good Kid, Mad City, he's talking about his environment, trying to enact change. To Pimp a Butterfly, I feel like that's his most revolutionary album. That's my favorite album of his. You hear Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I know there's Damn, he's also having that conflict. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He gets you more into his mind, the change he went through. Kendrick is an artist, man. And I just feel that people that are being overly critical or want him to be some huge revolutionary, like you said in Mr. Morale, I'm not your savior. He said, Kendrick made you think about it, but he is not your savior.
Correct.
My man literally said, I'm more like Kodak Black, and we know how ignorant Kodak Black is. So,
correct.
If he's and another take too that I be hearing, like, oh, he supports Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre was a woman beater. I'm like, first off, not to condone Dr. Dre's behaviors. I'm just saying that if the man put Kendrick on and has been one of his biggest cheerleaders, even popped out at the Pop Out concert. He's the only OG that popped out at the Pop Out concert to support him. And I'm like, that's support. So it's like, yes, he has his checkered past. However, if he's supporting you, what do you expect the man to do?
Correct. I feel like also that was in the past, right? Excuse me. I apologize for clearing my throat. But that was in the past, right? Does not excuse it, but it was in the past. I'm pretty sure if Dr. Dre do some heinous shit now, he would distance himself.
Correct. That's why Kendrick distanced himself from Snoop, because Snoop is on one right
compromised.
now. He's very compromised. Now
he's so compromised, it's not even funny. Him and Game can never get a pass to Kendrick land. Never.
Yeah, like
Game is just he's unhinged, and Snoop is all about the dollar.
All about the dollar.
Two people who have no morals.
No morals at all.
Who will sell you out in a heartbeat to make an extra dime.
And Tupac was right about Snoop. Because remember, Tupac ain't trust Snoop towards the end of his life. He ain't trust him.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, everybody always see, but that's when you know people be grasping at straws, right? Because remember when that lawsuit came out a week before the Super Bowl, alleging that two TDE top execs sexually harassed 2 women.
Well, I think that turned out to be just.
I was about to say that.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm about to say how it came out a week before the Super Bowl and everything was debunked and everything. And, one person who said she ain't get paid, they like, we got a check showing you got paid. Like, what are you talking about? So it was just kind of like people are trying to now find, because they can't find anything on Kendrick, right? So they're trying to find people around Kendrick, be like,
Correct.
see, you talking about not like us, but look what you supporting. It's like at the end of the day, what Dr. Dre did was not right, but that was before Kendrick. He put Kendrick on. Kendrick is paying homage. And guess what? Kendrick ain't the only person that's propping Dr. Dre up.
Nope.
A lot of other people are praising Dr. Dre as well.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to find dirt on somebody. And my thing is, if you have a black individual who's truly trying to uplift the black community, Kendrick hasn't come out and been like, I'm only supporting black people, but you kind of see it in his actions who he supports. Yeah. And you have someone doing that, but then you still try to find fault in them. Yet I never hear you criticize Aubrey, never hear you criticize Future, never hear you criticize Jonathan, aka Bop, whatever, Meg Thee Stallion's enemy right now. I never hear people be still championing Tory Lanez. People still be thirsting over Chris Brown. And I'm like, these are known deadbeats, abusers, horrible individuals.
Problematic people.
Problematic. There we go. That's better.
But you never have anything bad to say about them.
Never.
You go in the club and shake your ass and vibe out and get lulled to sleep. And you don't have a problem.
I think that says
something. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, you're being overly critical. And that's the problem. And that's why, unfortunately, for black individuals, that's why we end up in a rough space. How can we organize and unify when we're divided over a man that tried to give us a legit message in his performance that we gotta work together and we gotta fight against the government, fight against the system.
Game.
Yeah.
And don't feel defeated.
I agree.
It's a cheat code.
And now for a quick commercial break.
Hey guys, as you can hear, we are unapologetic in our opinions. We may be politically incorrect or possibly wrong, but don't knock us for being ourselves and saying what many are too afraid to admit out loud. Anyways, if you have any thoughts or questions about our show, email us at chemistryproductions@gmail.com. That's K3MISTRY productions@gmail.com. We'll be sure to address whatever you have to say.
Exactly. So, I mean, those are some of the big takes on the show. We might talk about this more on Sunday Brew. We might not. We'll see. But let's get into updates. So, y'all, I didn't post the episode on Tuesday. There's a reason for that. I was trying to get it together, but I had to come hang out with my family. We watched Super Bowl together, and me and Taylor actually recorded a podcast episode for Sports Talk with AVIOT prior to Super Bowl, and I was trying to put it out before Super Bowl, but I couldn't. I was being stretched too thin, so I'm gonna try and put out that episode maybe today on Wednesday, and it's prior to the Eagles winning. And those who listen to Sports Talk with AVIOT, Taylor is a huge Eagles fan.
Yeah,
so
man.
Our next episode is gonna be legendary because this girl, she was in Philly. Okay. I think she's still, no, is she still in Philly? Oh, no, she was at the parade. Like she's at everything. Okay. So
Wait, you already had the parade?
I think so. I saw people online. They were saying they had, maybe it was a pre-parade, but I think they're supposed to have something tomorrow too on Thursday. So I think they're supposed to have something on Thursday as well. But Taylor was there. So when them cats was climbing up on the poles and everything, Taylor was there. Okay. So I got the video. Taylor was there. And I'm very happy for her.
Shout out to Jalen. Jalen Hurts. Man. You saw that shit I sent you? That dude is so humble, man. Damn, man. He just makes you
want to be a better person.
I'm proud of him. I followed him ever since college. I followed him when he was at Alabama and he got benched for Tua, and he went to I think it was Oklahoma State. And he just lit it up. And I watched him when people say he's not a good passer, he's not a good quarterback, he's a running back. That's what they say about black people. And he just stayed with it. Same thing with Lamar. And just to see that he went to Disney the day after while his team was steady partying and stuff because he had an obligation and he stuck to it. And he just seems like he is down to earth. He is a humble dude from what I see, and you'd never ever see him cry on the camera. That's one thing that man, he would catch them tears, suck it up. He
a crier though. You can tell he a crier. He a crier.
Yeah, but not on the camera.
Nah.
Probably real ugly and don't stop. But yeah, man, shout out to him, man. It was so great to see him. And I think that's one thing we get lost in this back and forth of the Super Bowl halftime is, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. Just this year and last year, they were saying bench him, get rid of him. He's not coming back. He's a trash quarterback. You're never going to win a championship with him. He's not good. He's mediocre. He's overpaid. Philly paid him too much. I mean, this is the shit he's been hearing forever. But once Philly paid him, they were like, "Why you pay this man all this money? He's trash." And now look at him. Look. He did something that Joe Burrow hasn't done yet. He did something that and granted, understand what I'm saying. These are the top players. He's done something that Joe Burrow hasn't. Herbert. I forgot the other guy who played.
Josh Allen.
Oh no. I mean, Josh Allen almost made it there. And Dak Prescott. And you can even probably throw Lamar, but Lamar's different. But you can throw Lamar in there. But
none of them got rings. What I'm saying, none of them got rings.
Oh yeah, none of them got rings, right? But Lamar, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I think Lamar coming. I think he coming.
All right, I was gonna say let's table this for Sunday because you about to get. We already broke our code for sports. Like we can't. Let's table it for Sunday. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna give
no doubt.
Sunday, I'm gonna give you the entire floor. Okay?
I gotta eat dinner anyway.
The entire floor. So let's get into our topic of the day, and then we'll close this. I wanted to talk about we were celebrating Blackness, especially with Kendrick's performance. I wanted to talk about why it's important that we're celebrating this and why it's important that his message resonated with Black folk. We have PBS. They decided to get rid of their DEI office because they're trying to comply with the current presidential administration's, mission to get rid of DEI initiatives or DEI in the workplace, diversity, equity, inclusion. There's been some talk about PBS and people are giving them grace because PBS gave us years of content that was diverse, whether it be, I think Reading Rainbow was on PBS. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Sesame Street on PBS?
Yes. I believe it was.
Yeah, so you had Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So you had diverse programming on there. And they had years of educating kids, years of educating even adults from diverse backgrounds and really pushing the narrative. I believe that this is a funding issue. And they don't want to compromise their funding.
Correct.
They may be getting rid of their DEI initiatives, but they might reframe it as something else. This is speculation. I don't
know why anybody else won't do it.
Yeah, like Target's lost money. Target has lost a lot of money, and that's on them. But I think PBS, how I see it is they've always been, I want to say radical, but they've always tried to support diverse backgrounds, diverse groups. So I feel because they might be getting funding from something that involves the federal government, whatnot, they might say, okay, well, let's comply with this, but we're still going to push diverse content under a different name, or we're going to figure out a different way to do it. I just give them grace personally, just because of their years of work in order to help kids from different backgrounds. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's sad that we've been dealing with this, right? Because I just want to say, I'm pretty sure you already heard, 19 Republican states are suing Costco now because they want to know, why are you still using DEI? So it's kind of like, why do you care? You're not part of the board, right? So when you're talking about, all these companies that's getting rid of DEI, I hope that the next administration, if there is if they are a Democrat, don't bring it back, because you see how easy it is to take something away. And nobody has time for seesaw effects, right? 4 years, we get it back. 4 years later, they take it away. 4 years later, we get. I mean, this shit got to be tiring because people are losing their jobs off of this. You know, programs are being defunded, all because of the word DEIA. So I hope that somehow, some way, companies could be smart on how they word things. Like, that's one thing you were saying. You know, because, and it's sad that we got to play the semantics, right? But we clearly, we are living rent free in their heads, right? And the sad part is, they don't understand. This administration doesn't understand, nor do they care, that DEI is hurting more than Black people. But Black people are the stigma, the face of DEI.
Ain't that crazy?
When it's all said and done, we are at the bottom of the total pole that's getting any benefits from DEI.
Crazy.
Right? Number one. So when PBS is now has to change the way they move to get funding, it's sad, right? But also look at it like this. There really shouldn't be, we shouldn't even have to put that in writing. But you see why we had to, because now you see why it was needed. Because clearly it was needed. Because if you do your whole campaign and everybody's saying it, from your military to whatever cabinet these people are holding, it's all about DEI. Clearly it was needed. Because if it wasn't, then this wouldn't be your running campaign, because we're not the people who are benefiting from it. And if you don't believe me, Google it. And we don't need to tell you who's benefiting from it. But it's not really us. Everything we work for, keyword, we work for.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm even looking now. It says the Federal Communications Commission is currently investigating PBS, NPR, and their member stations, underwriting amid this current administration's concerns that sponsorship messages may have been in violation of federal law prohibiting non-commercial education stations from broadcasting commercials. Yeah, so it all comes down to money, funding. Yeah, I think they're trying to get ahead of it, and that's why they're shutting it down, because they're like, bro, we ain't trying to get into these legal battles.
It's not worth it, man. Listen, when it's all said and done, these idiots don't even pay attention to how you change wordings anyway, right? So just change the shit. Change it. These idiots won't find it out. They are the ones, if you want to hide something, put it in a book, because they'll never get it.
Yeah, I agree. And
these idiots.
I think it's best to close out on this. I saw, just wrapping it in a bow, I saw there were some complaints that Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance only had Black people in his cast or that were performing. And to that I say, so now you want DEI?
Yeah, I don't get it. You know, it's amazing. I mean, you know, no one ever complained about Friends.
Ooh, I ain't never seen a Black person on Friends.
No one ever complained about Friends. We giggled and laughed, and either we liked it or we didn't, and we changed the channels.
And you know,
now all of a sudden, you got a problem. Nobody complained about Friends.
Growing up, it's funny because I used to watch Friends because that was what was on our programming. But then as I got older, I got put on to Fresh Prince and all that stuff, and I stopped watching Friends and everything. I'm like, oh shoot, these shows are, because the only things that were available to me at the time were certain shows. So I watched Even Stevens, Friends, Boy Meets World. Not saying that they are trash, but you're not comparing to the Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, and Martin. Like, you're not comparing to that. Come on now.
Man, I used to watch those shows too.
Yeah, Rock.
I used to like Dawson Creek.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Well, I ain't never watched that.
Equal opportunists. Oh, I used to like Dawson Creek. Yeah, man. CW in the house.
You funny. With that being said, cuz great.
Yo, it's always good, man.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to put
you on Sunday, right?
Yeah, on Sunday. We good.
What's it called? Morning Brew. I'm trying to think what time we're gonna do the show.
It's Sunday Brew, but
it's called a brew. Sunday Brew. All right.
It's called Sunday Brew, but you've been missing the 9 o'clock.
All right, we're gonna try to. So what we're gonna do this time? We're gonna try to be there at 10 o'clock. Everybody.
All right, 10 o'clock. 10
o'clock with our coffee mugs. You know, we gonna go in because I'm pretty sure today is now Wednesday. It's gonna be a hell of BS.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be stuff. Please, come on now.
I mean,
you know,
we didn't even talk about. We ain't talk about certain things, but that's all right though. We'll talk about it on Sunday.
All right, bro.
All right, man, take it easy.
Yes, sir.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.